I've been getting very into Vocaloid recently, and I want to share with you guys a particular song I've been especially insane about, called Baumkuchen End Credits, featuring Hasane, Miku, Kasane Teto, and Akira Neru. I am so incredibly normal and sane about this song. Trust, guys. So yeah, I thought I'd come on and make a video analyzing the song and the music video, because I can't deal with this obsession just rattling around in my brain constantly. I need to get this out somewhere, okay? Also, sorry if I sound like a dying animal here. I'm a little bit sick. Alright, first let's talk about the title itself. Baumkuchen, if you're unaware, literally translates to tree cake and is a type of cake popular in Germany and Japan. It's shaped like a ring, and when you cut it, it's got more rings inside like a tree. And the important part is that it's commonly used in weddings. Keep this in mind, it'll be relevant later. I don't know what the end credits part is about, low-key, but yeah, I'm sure it's not that relevant. Anyways, the song, yeah, okay. So it starts and we open with Teto looking absolutely distraught and miserable, and there's fucking storm clouds everywhere. She's cartoonishly upset. And she's basically singing about how she's lost someone and been completely screwed over by the narrative. She states she's in a three-way deadlock with no solution, and we can infer this is referring to the three characters in the song. Yeah, oh my god, we're so smart, guys. That line will make sense in a bit here. Trust me, I don't want to explain the entire plot in the first line. So she also mentions a red string and how she wants to stay connected, but she acknowledges she likely cannot. This is referring to the red string of fate, a very well-known trope that basically symbolizes soulmates as being attached by a red string. So Teto fucking lost hers. Womp womp. It's Miku, by the way. We know this because of, well, other parts of the song, but also this nifty thing the music video does with the character's eyes. You see how Teto has a blue pupil? Yeah, so everyone's pupil color is correspondent to who they're currently in love with. So yeah, Teto is obviously talking about Miku here. Speaking of Miku, here she is. Wowzers! She's like the exact opposite of Teto here. She's in the fucking whimsy world right now. Yeah. And she's basically saying you're asking why I left you? I don't know. I fucking felt like it, in a really roundabout way. Um, and her eye is not red because she fucking left Teto. Obviously, she's not in love with her anymore, so it's yellow because whoa, my god, it's that bitch Neru, and she's with Miku. Look at her eyes blue. Obviously she loves her back, right, guys? Right? Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay, so we cut to Neru in this very dramatic tone shift that a fucking Disney villain would get. She's in this dark ass film studio, and she explains her evil scheme that she's the one who tore Miku and Teto apart. I don't know what NTR means, but someone commented on the song jokingly saying that it means no Teto relationship, and I think that's really funny. Anyways, so yeah, she's comically sadistic and literally says, quote, "Misfortune is sweet as honey," which, I mean, pop off, queen, okay, fucking sure. Okay, so the visuals here are incredibly important. We pointed out that she's in some sort of film studio, and she's shown with a lot of filming equipment and set props and stuff. Notably, the clouds and sun from Teto and Miku's verses respectively. This makes it clear that she's basically in full control of the situation, and she's manipulating both Miku and Teto to giving the reactions that she wants from them. That the feelings they're experiencing in response to the situation are quite literally created by Neru, and she's absolutely reveling in them. She's also literally controlling puppets of Miku and Teto in the next shot, which emphasizes this further. A detail I think is important to note is that in several parts of this section, Nero's pupil changes color from blue to black. Since we've established that color directly relates to the character's romantic feelings, I think we can pretty easily infer that this means that Nero is either completely pretending to love Miku, or she just doesn't actually love her as much as she pretends to. Regardless, she is playing with Miku's feelings here. This is especially apparent when she's holding the puppets. When she looks at the Teto one, her eye is black, but when she looks at the Miku one, her eye is blue. I personally take this to mean that she doesn't feel the need to pretend she loves Miku when she's around Teto, which would make a lot of sense for her character, seeing how that fact would likely make the heartache a lot worse for Teto, which is what Neru would want here. Okay, now onto the chorus. I want to immediately point out that the melody here is sampled from Ode to Joy, which is, ironically, an incredibly optimistic and whimsical song compared to the absolute misery that is Baumkuchen. Okay, so despite the amazing visuals here, I don't think they actually give much new to dissect, just emphasizing the main points of the story we've already stated. Rubbing salt in the wound, if you will. They are cool as fuck though, so like, yay! Also, Baumkuchen makes its debut appearance here, which I think is a cool bit of foreshadowing. We'll get to that later. Okay, so all three of them are singing here, and they start off with this banger of a line. Quote, unresistible, three primal desires at the mercy of the gods. I want to fulfill my need for approval, my heart for sure. This is a really fun line because it correlates to each character's feelings in a different way. Tedo's primal desire is how badly she wants Miku back. Miku's been going with basically whatever she thinks will satisfy her heart in the moment, and also what she ascribes divine inspiration to, which I will get to all the religious symbolism in the song later, just put a pin in that, okay? And Neru is using other people's misery as a way to feel more powerful and fulfilled herself. Too late anyway, expose them, make it a bloodbath. Loki, I think this is just pointing out how there is literally no good outcome for the situation at this point. The shit is going to hit the shit at some point here, even if we don't get to see it. That, or it's just Neru's wishful thinking. Also, fucking, Baumkuchen name drop. I know that all three of them are singing here, but I like to imagine this last half of the chorus here as being mainly from Neru's perspective. And, like, the other two are singing maybe because of, like, yeah. I really like the logo here. It looks cool, and I like how it ties into the whole film analogy. It's really neat. Okay, so, like, the second verse is visually very similar to the first one, except everything is worse! Tedo is even more miserable, and it's raining now. Okay, so Tedo is getting very bitter and pessimistic here, saying everyone is self-centered, and basically just saying how life fucking sucks and nothing good lasts. Youch! So then Miku comes in with one of the best lines in the song. That's not true! I don't know why this is one of my favorite parts of the song, but, like, I don't know, something about the way she says it and, like, the expression or something, it just like, tickles my brain real good, you know? So she says something really, really interesting here. Quote, that's not true. There's a scenery that I've never seen before. I just believe in guidance from above and I follow it. Which, absolutely fucking insane reason to give for leaving someone, first of all. Yeah, sorry I dumped you for no reason. I think God wanted me to, low-key. It's just the way it had to be, you know? It's not my fault. I think that Miku having a mindset like this is kind of the perfect victim for Neru to manipulate like this, because she genuinely sees the situation as a net positive and is 100% willing to ascribe her impulsive and honestly really fucking selfish switch up here as, oh, God must have wanted me to do this, which means my feelings are entirely justified, which means that nothing is wrong here. I don't know, I just find that really interesting. She's trying so hard to spin the story in a positive way where she's in the right that she's completely blinded to herself to what Neru is doing and ends up causing more harm by getting with her. Originally, I thought Miku was kind of trying to, like, comfort Tedo with the that's not true line, but after reading the lyrics closer, that line comes off as almost offended. Like she's challenging some blasphemous lie about how the world God created isn't perfect, as she goes on to describe all the ways that it is, without realizing she is half the reason Tedo thinks that way in the first place. Or something. Okay, fucking anyways, I just wrote like 2 paragraphs about 3 lines, goddamn. Flashback! Yay, we get to, watch Miku abandon Tedo in real time, yay! Okay, so Tedo is here dramatically begging Miku not to leave her, and then Miku drops the absolutely rancid line of, sorry, I don't need it anymore. Hey, what the fuck? Again, absolutely insane thing to say here, oh my god. This fucking Baumkuchen End Miku needs to be studied, I swear to God. So she's here with Neru, right? And we get this honestly quite diabolical shot of her pupil going from red to yellow when she looks at her and sings about how she's now fully satisfied. Like, God, okay, Miku, fucking kick Tedo while she's down after you just fucking shot her, okay? And we get this kind of odd visual with, like, a bunch of hands pointing at her brain and then her. I honestly haven't thought too much on what this could mean, but I'm gonna take a wild guess here and say that it probably correlates back to the religious stuff, like, surrounding her actions here. This might be indicative of a brief moment of guilt or acknowledgement that what she's doing is fucked up, but, you know, she just did it, so she's obviously not gonna go back on it. That, or it's the narrative pointing at her and saying, wow, you're kind of really fucked up. Honestly, I could see either of those being the case here. Okay, so we got to Neru, and it's really more the same symbolism in the visuals that we saw earlier, so I don't need to re-explain that. So we actually get some pretty good insight on Neru's perspective here, so I'm just gonna read off the whole verse because it's all pretty interesting. Quote, that's just a flower-filled fantasy. Dreams and hope everywhere equal seeds of falsehood, lol. Getting carried away on your own. A once flat relationship, a rose bloomed, a princess who got the wrong idea, a hacker who smashes peace. The targets are always useless, useless people. Misfortune is sweet as honey. I fucking love how cartoonishly evil Neru is here. Just completely shitting all over Teto for wanting back what she stole from her. I think her saying a once flat relationship is pretty indicative of the situation prior to the song, or at least how Neru views it, slash how Neru was justifying herself, implying that Miku and Teto's relationship lacked much substance to begin with, likely part of the reason Miku was able to leave so easily, and saying it was once flat and points out that Neru did in fact make it more interesting. Just not in a good way, but you know. This situation definitely isn't boring if me being almost 2,000 words into an analysis is anything to go by. Fucking anyways. I love how she describes herself in Miku. A princess who got the wrong idea is obviously pointing out how misguided Miku is while viewing herself with such moral superiority. And a hacker who smashes peace, which is a very clever and maybe unintentional double entendre. She's obviously referring to how she completely ruined Miku and Teto's relationship, which I guess you could say she kind of like hacked it or something. But this line also directly references Neru's origin as a fanboy in general. History time, I guess. In 2007, there was a news broadcast making fun of Miku fans as stupid, dumb weebs, and then Miku immediately became basically unsearchable on the internet, because all the images of her were removed from the search and her Wikipedia article got deleted, and people on 2chan were making conspiracies about an anti-Miku campaign, which got another group of users trying to shut them up by basically just spamming, "Get bored, go to bed," and I guess they found it funny, because for some reason, they then turned that phrase into a character, Akita Neru. So I guess you could say there might have been some hacking going on with the Miku stuff there, you know? That might be a stretch, honestly, but like I just wanted to bring that up because I think it's cool. Okay, so final part of the song. The lyrics to the chorus are the same as last time, but the visuals changed. Remember when I said that Baumkuchen is commonly served at weddings? Yeah, well, Neru and Miku get fucking married, I guess, and that's why Baumkuchen is so important here. It was alluding to the marriage. Also, I want to point out at this point that Teto seems a lot more at ease with the situation as a whole. She looks generally a lot less miserable now, and she has what looks to be at least a somewhat genuine smile the whole time. She doesn't open her eyes until the very last shot, where we see her eat the Baumkuchen, and how I see it, begin the process of actually healing. Okay, so I kind of lied about her smile being genuine, and not in a, "oh, I'm so miserable, but I'm gonna suppress that" kind of way, but more like a, "okay, I'm at the point where I can tolerate the circumstances enough and not be completely destroyed by it anymore, so I'm just gonna try and be okay with it" kind of way. I'm not sure exactly why. I think that, it's just kind of the vibes I'm getting here. Well, I mean, either that, or she's learned what Neru wants by now and doesn't want to show negativity around her anymore out of spite or something. I don't know, it could be either one. I think the last shot is really interesting. The clouds are still there, but Teto's smiling with the bumpy head anyways. Though when she eats it, everything just goes quiet. In like the metaphorical sense. I mean, well, the song also ends here, but like, you get what I'm saying. Again, I think the shot is where Teto can start to actually move on from Neru and Miku. Her finally eating the Baumkuchen is symbolic of her accepting the fact that she's never getting Miku back. The cake is gone, the wedding's over, and there's nothing left. She finally recognizes this, and that's why her pupil is black now. She's given up on trying to get Miku back, and although she's still clearly pretty damaged by everything, I do think this is indicative of a new start for her, because now there's nothing holding her back. No romance she can't have, no artificial depression she's trapped in, it's just her by the end. In a way, I think the wedding kind of freed her from the narrative, either because of just how much time must have passed by now, or the marriage itself being enough of a wake-up call for her to separate herself from the situation that she always knew could never end well. Now, the actual story out of the way, I want to talk about some smaller things that I've noticed that I didn't really know where to fit into the big explanation. First off, the detail of the character's hairbands. Miku's are a pair of wings, which obviously plays into her whole idea of being led by God and seeing herself as morally superior, likely on a similar level to an angel, which, side note, would make sense since the clouds are literally under her in the second verse instead of, in the sky where they should be. Nereus is a snake, which also ties into the religious theming, and while I don't really feel qualified to explain Bible stories, I'm fairly certain that the snake represents a sort of deception and evil and was, like, literally Satan in disguise at one point, I think. Which really just makes it all the more ironic that Miku is so easily manipulated by her. Something about divine inspiration leading you to, metaphorically, marry the devil is just really funny to me, and honestly kind of tragic. Also, on the topic of these two, I kind of want to see a future point in the timeline where Neru inevitably divorces Miku and takes half of her shit because she didn't sign a prenup. why did I write that? And she's like, well, I never really liked you that much in the first place, actually, and, like, I just wanted to make Teto miserable, and she's gone now, so bye! And then watch Miku's entire worldview just completely shatter right then and there. I genuinely cannot see a world where this doesn't happen. Okay, I had a recorded a part here saying that I didn't know what Teto's hairband things were supposed to be. But while I was editing this, I found this image of like the official character references like used for the music video, and yeah, it does just plainly state that they are scissors. I don't know what that means for Teto, but my best guess that has like something to do with separation or something, but I don't know. Second thing I've noticed, Neru's teeth are sharp and pointy because she's a villain, and also because snakes. Yeah. What I find interesting is that Miku's teeth are also sharp, but in the flashback they're normal. They only become sharp when she falls in love with Neru. I think this hints at how Neru probably definitely changed Miku for the worse in some way. Maybe that's the whole reason Miku left Teto in the first place, and her actually getting with Neru was just the moment that solidified it. I don't know. Point of no return and all that. Okay, so as I'm writing this, it is currently 1 a.m. and I am 5 pages and 3,000 words deep into this Google Doc, so I'm gonna wrap this up here. I think that's all I wanted to say about this. Anyway, yeah, you should, like, go listen to Baumkuchen End Credits. It's really fucking good. I think it is genuinely loaded with crack cocaine or something. I cannot stop listening to it. Okay, bye!